Hello, my name is Nathaniel,
I'm Aiden.
I'm Austin.
and today we're going to be reviewing our Meet 3 matches and seeing how we can improve for our qualifier. So, welcome to. Alright, so here is our first match.
So our autonomous is very similar to our last meet's autonomous.
So as you might be able to see in this match, we changed out our collection system on this robot. So this is the main change that we made from our second meet to our third meet. So our previous collection system, like we've said before, has kind of a mold of the cone and goes on top of it. That takes a long time to line up perfectly for the driver and the operator. So we changed that out for a active rubber band spinner that is able to just go up to the cone and quickly suck it in.
And that has improved our collecting time from 3 seconds to 0.4 seconds, so it was almost instantaneous.
So after autonomous ended, I switched the game hub to teleop, and then our robot completely disconnected, and we had to call FTA.
So we had this issue, as you will see in multiple of our matches. The FTA thinks that it was a sort of static issue with our turntable. We have a grounding strap on the bottom of our robot, but he thinks it's a static issue. So we are looking into options to fix that.
So our main game strategy was just cycle on high junction for points, and then to block the other team's circuit if they attempted to do so.
Yep, so you'll see in most of our matches, our game strategy is just to cycle onto the high junction because that is by far what we get the most points doing. But also being able to stop the other alliance from completing their circuit scores us the most points.
At this moment, we were having difficulties with lift lowering all the way down.
What happened was the string from our pulley for the lift got wrapped around one of the X-row coming out, and so we were not able to go all the way down, so we weren't able to score any more points.
So there we tried to restart the robot because we thought it could have been a robot issue, but in reality, when we hit that medium junction, the string just got caught.
Alright, here is our second match.
So yet again, it seems like our strategy is the same as last time. So yeah.
So here at the very beginning you could see, I guess as the coach I didn't quite inform the driver and operator our full strategy as well as I should have, and so that first right before the match, basically, I was trying to explain to them. And so we started our autonomous about half a second later than we should have. You can also see our turntable missed scoring most of our cones. That is a big problem that we had this meet, is the autonomous not being correct, the orientation of the turntable. That is something that we are definitely going to improve for our qualifier, though.
Yet again, we had problems switching from autonomous to teleop again, and we called FDA a second time.
So the reason that it was disconnecting in the middle of the matches, we think is different from the transition from autonomous to teleop. So when we were transitioning from autonomous to teleop, we wouldn't stop the autonomous. We would just go straight into teleop even if there's time left on the autonomous, which we think was the reason why it was disconnecting then. But it still disconnected once or twice in the middle of the matches.
Here you can see we knocked over a cone while trying to collect. That was due to the fact that I didn't align myself properly because the turntable sometimes is different every single time, so I have to adjust, and I didn't adjust properly.
Yeah, so we were still all pretty new to this new system that we put on a robot, so by the end of the meet we were getting much better at it than we were at the beginning. Again, our strategy, like almost all of our matches, is just to cycle onto the high junction.
But as you will see later, we cycled on the medium junction.
Right here you can see we were struggling a little bit to get that cone onto the high junction because right now our controls for turntable aren't as precise as we want it to be. So it was a bit, because we kept on overshooting when trying to adjust, the tiny adjustment.
There you saw us score the beacon on the close low junction, the junction closest to us. I saw that the opposing team had not completed a circuit, so that was not something that we needed to worry about using our beacon for, so we just wanted to make sure that we could score and get the most points. As you saw at the very end, I tried to direct our driver and operator to score one last cone to be able to claim that junction as well.
Now we are on the red side for the very first time.
So here you can see we missed our preloaded cone scoring on the low junction. That was just a very minor lineup issue.
That score as well. Millions. Everybody's going for another attempt. It's like none of the robots have gotten those scores in the autonomous period yet, unfortunately.
So here we successfully parked in the correct zone. And we were able to park throughout this meet 4 out of the 5 times in the correct zone.
We use a webcam on the bottom of a robot to scan the QR code on our signal sleeve, and that's how we're able to determine where to park.
You got robots that have parked, robots collecting cones for their alliance. Going ahead and
So you can see us kind of struggling to get at that high junction there. That is because our motors that we are using for the lift, they're not quite as strong as they should be. So if we do not have a battery that is super well charged, then it won't be able to reach to the high junction as easily. We still are able to score, as you were able to see there, but it just takes a lot more time to line up and everything. So after we saw our battery was not very good, we changed our strategy to cycle onto the medium junction.
Cycling on the medium junction is a lot faster for us because we're able to just go above the junction itself, so we aren't having to lower the collection system. We can just let go of the cone and we score a lot faster.
The way our collection system works, we collect at a 45-degree angle with our double row band spinners, and then for delivering it, we lift it up and then put it down at a 45-degree angle again, going onto the high junction. But when we're going to the medium junction, we're able to have it actually parallel with the ground, and that helps with lining up just a little bit.
So our strategy has been the same for every match. We've been cycling on the high. This time, we're having to more proactively block the circuit. So we aren't scoring as much on the high junctions. As you can see, the opposing alliance is collecting off of their stack cones and trying to get that on their low junction to complete their circuit. But we are also trying to stop them from doing that. And as you can see in a second, we put our beacon on before they are able to, which stops their circuit.
got the low goal scored by Robo Raiders. High junction getting scored by the Orphan Bots. Robo Raiders picking up their cap.
So after we put the beacon, Nathaniel, the coach, suggested to just keep on cycling.
We were not able to do another cycling though.
Medium goal gets a little bump by their alliance partner. Blue Alliance trying to score that cap. All 4 robots moving out on the field. Welded Warriors lining themselves up to try to score. Robo Raiders already.
With this angle, you can kind of see how our collection works a little bit better on the stack. So at the 45-degree angle, you can see it lower down on top of the cone, and then it's able to pull it in off the stack into the collection system, and then the turntable rotates to score onto the low junction. Here, once again, you can see our robot disconnecting and the FTA coming over to help us.
I love how I just stand back. I'm like, I'm not touching it. So this match, our strategy is a little bit different as our previous other matches. So here, after autonomous, we would go and try to get a cone and put it into our, the terminal, and then pick up a cone and put it on the small junction, and then like the other matches, start cycling on the high junction.
Yeah, so we split the circuit with our alliance partners, so we did the closest half and then they did the farthest half.
So here, because I guess we were a little bit aligned off, I had to reset field centric, and then we were able to go ahead and drag a cone into the terminal.
And then here we score one on the low.
Their first cone onto the medium goal, trying to build out the circuit. Robo Raiders dropping off onto a low junction. Welded Warriors going for another medium goal.
So here, yet again, it's kind of being blocked by the referee, but we attempted to put a cone onto the high junction as our cycle usually is, but then we had another problem with our battery not getting the motors up strong enough and be able to lift it high enough, so we went and just cycled on the medium junctions.
Transistor Titans lining themselves up and dropping off onto that goal. Robo Raiders, more comes in their possession. 35 seconds left in the match. Robo Raiders moving around. Robo Lions drive themselves on into the middle of the field, trying to score another cone in that center. Robo Raiders.
So here with 20 seconds left in the match, I wanted to score our beacon to prevent the opposing alliance from completing their circuit. Initially, I had said to score on the high junction to prevent their circuit, but then I realized that we were not able to reach the high junction, and so I directed them to go to the low junction. Before that, I kind of fumbled with my words and said medium, and so that's what they heard, so they scored on the medium junction, which did not prevent their circuit.
But we still had enough time, so we hurried back to collect one. He said to go again to the far low one, but looking back at it, there were other possibilities on where we could block their circuit, but just in the moment, it was kind of stressful and big pressure moment.
So looking back, we had a big discussion about this at our next meeting to figure out how we can improve and make sure that that doesn't happen again. Communication.
So in this match was our best match of the day and the high score of the day with 164.
Which is about 30 points higher than what the previous high score was for our league.
So even though we were able to score the high score for the day, we still by far did not do our best. We could have probably done much better, but.
So right here you can see our autonomous. So if you notice, if you look closely, you can see that we moved our stack cones a little bit. We were very close to moving it over an inch, which is a major penalty. The ref did not call it a major penalty. He just told us to keep in mind for qualifiers that if that happens again, it will definitely be called a penalty.
Here you can see our robot disconnect during the autonomous period. And so actually that is what caused us to be able to park in the correct signal zone. So we had read it wrong with our webcam, but because it disconnected, we were still able to get those extra 20 points for parking.
So here, just like last match, our strategy is the same, where we put one in the terminal, one on the low, and then just cycle high. So yeah.
And for this match, we did have a working battery, or one that was able to power our lift. So we were able to cycle on the high junction.
You can see that cone took a little bit longer to line up than usual. Again, it's a little bit harder with this system to line up correctly.
Because we're not hovering over the high junction, we're having to place it on the corner of the high junction and push it over.
Reclaiming that circuit back from the Red Alliance. Robo Raiders go and trying to score that cone again. 40 seconds left in the match. We're getting close to the ending period.
So with about 35 seconds left, we wanted to just quickly score onto the medium junction because that gets us an extra couple points, as opposed to cycling onto the high junction again.
It gives us a couple extra points because we own it.
We scored one more onto the high junction because we had a little bit more time, but then right at 20 seconds we wanted to be able to collect our beacon and then score that to get the most points.
We realized that they weren't going to complete a circuit, so we didn't have to block their circuit. So we just placed it on the low junction to get an easy 10 points.
I did still direct them to score the final cone onto the far low junction because then we could just really make sure that there was no way that they could complete a circuit and to get those extra points for owning that junction. So as you can see, there were still lots of issues that we encountered on this robot through this meet, and so we're going to work on lots of them to be able to do our very best at our qualifier. Subscribe to our channel and watch for future videos reviewing our...
Not gonna say now? Come on.
Well, no, you're bullying me out of saying it.
Let's go.
You better put that
Hey,
in
talk about the
paper.
medium. As we've been doing... So...
You touched my thigh!
Oh my goodness, guys.
You are laughable. Hey, don't put that in the bloopers.
I'm dead.
Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, be sure to give it a like, subscribe to our channel, and watch for future videos reviewing our qualifier. And we've got lots of other videos planned as well. Thanks for watching. Bye.